Good morning, good morning, good morning, everybody. It's Natalie, it's Hot Shot Adventures. All right, let's get into this. So winter is here, right? It is January 4th. It's Wednesday, January 4th. So this is my load. I loaded these two pieces yesterday out of the Houston area. The military truck. Thank you, Matt. Big shout out to you, Matt. Again, throwing me another bone. Matt's a big rig car hauler and with several different trucks. And I just happened to be in the Texas area and his trucks were not. So Matt threw me this load. So that's the reason why, you guys, I am going up to Idaho Falls, Idaho, out of Houston, Texas, going all the way up to Idaho Falls, Idaho. It's a nice run. It's a fair rate. But now we have to look at how am I preparing myself, my equipment, and how am I choosing my route, right? So this is for my newer people who don't have a clue and it's their first winter and they don't know what the heck to do. Let me give you some ideas and some tips and share with you guys what I do to prep myself, prep my equipment, and then to choose my route. You guys know me, I'm born and raised in Southern California. I don't often go to the snow. I have a healthy respect for snowy conditions and the north in the winter, but winter is here. And realistically speaking, there are times when I do go. I don't choose to go when I'm asked to go, and I've gone over this before. When I've asked to go, I will go if the price is right and the conditions are okay. If everything works out, I will go. When I know I'm going into the snow, right, I prepare myself by taking a ton of clothes, a ton of different socks, different changes of shoes, stuff gets wet, several jackets, waterproof Carhartt, stuff like that. In addition to that, I have a ton of blankets. I have a ton of bedding that's going to keep me warm, and enough food and water in this truck to last me for about a week. So when I go into the snow, I am planning as though I'm going to get snowed in my truck. You plan for the worst and hope for the best. I make sure my diesel is always topped off. I have extra boxes of DEF, stuff like that. Now, as far as the truck goes, what did I do to prepare? Obviously, checked all my tires. I went and got new tires for the gray truck. The other tires were all right, but to go into the snow, I wasn't comfortable with it. I had my brakes checked. I went and got an oil change. I topped off my, windshield wiper fluid. I checked all of my fluids. I made sure all of that was good. I put new windshield wipers on the truck. I always make sure that I have DEF in the truck. Especially going into conditions that I was going into. And I always make sure that I have enough diesel, okay? You don't ever go to a quarter and then you're like, oh my God, where's my next fuel stop? If you do and you end up getting snowed in somewhere right at that time, that's a bad situation. Check the tire brakes. I check the air pressure on the tires. I made sure my brakes, everything was working good. All my lights, all my wires, everything was good. I put the snow chains in the truck. If you know you're going into the snow and potential chain conditions, get chains at AutoZone or O'Reilly's or wherever. Get chains before you get there, because if you get up to a chain required area, and there's always going to be a gas station or somewhere that sells chains, but they will sell them to you at 4 or 5 times the regular price. Okay, so just don't do that. Get the chains at AutoZone or wherever, throw them in your truck. If you don't need them, take them back or just keep them, but at least you got them for a regular price and you didn't get price gouged. 2 sets of chains were $900 or some ridiculous thing like that. Also, take the chains out. Take the chains out and try and put them on your truck or trailer in dry conditions. See how they work. If you've never chained up some tires before, don't let the first time you go to chain tires up be the time when you're actually in the snow and required to do it. Some of them are a little bit difficult. They're a little tricky. You have to kind of, play with them and stuff like that. And if you're in below freezing temperatures and it's snowing and your hands are frozen, you're going to get really pissed off and really frustrated, and it's going to take a lot longer than if you had already tried it at least once. The next one I want to go over is route planning. Okay, in the winter, always check the radar, okay? Download an app, get a weather app, whichever one you like. There's a million out there. They're all free. Get one that you like. Check the weather. I went up to Idaho, and next I'm going to be going up to Oregon, and I'm continuing to check the radar. I want to see when the next snowstorm is coming in, how fast it's moving, how long it's going to stay. I want to look at my route, where I'm at now, and where I'm going to be, and get an estimate of how long more or less it's going to take me, whether I need to book it to beat a storm or whether I need to slow down because it's already storming up there and I need to wait a little bit so that it gives all the snowplow people and everybody time to clear the roads. It's another cool thing that you can do as well, and that's every state, everybody has cameras on the highways, so you can check you can see actual live feed of the cameras on the freeways or on the wherever. You sign in, Google it, whatever city, whatever state, and you can find the cameras. So you can actually see what the live conditions are for whatever highway that you're going to be on. You can see what those conditions are. Another thing is, if you're running off of Google Maps, just be mindful, okay? Be really, really, really mindful. I don't really promote Google Maps. Google Maps is going to take you all kinds of crazy, crazy places. Whatever GPS you guys are using, check the different routes that you could potentially take. Obviously, in the winter, a good rule of thumb is stay as far south as you can, as long as you can. So I went from Houston all the way up to Idaho Falls. But what I did was I kind of inched up. I could have gone straight up and over, but that would have put me north, going a lot of miles in the northern states. Instead, I kept southern, and then I just started inching north. And then once I got to the northwest corner of New Mexico, I started really going straight north. So I tried to stay in the most southernmost states as far as you can, even if it takes you out of route. Stay on the major highways and stay as south as you can until you have to start really heading north. I've been on I-25 in northern New Mexico, where it takes you up into, all the way through Colorado. I-25 has got some hairy parts of it. You never take the 70 between Colorado and Utah. You never, ever take the 70. That's going to take you over the Rockies. Don't do it in the winter, and if you do it in the summer, great, but you still need to make sure that you are a good enough driver that you can drive through that mountain range, and that your truck is good enough that it's not going to break down on you as you're going over that mountain range if you're new. I mean, obviously for my seasoned drivers, if you're like, I take it all the time, born and raised in Denver, well, that's a different story. I'm talking about for my newbies out there. I'm trying to save you guys some headache and some heartache. The other option, if I would have taken I-25 north all the way through Colorado to the 80, then I would have taken the 80 west into Idaho Falls, the 80, which is that Wyoming, that pass, that really windy part of the I-80 that always gets shut down and always gets iced up, and it really gets bad, and it gets shut down quite often. Passes on I-25 and then I-80, I had the potential of risking being snowed in or being behind, having to wait once I get up to the 80, having to wait until they open the pass back up and start letting people through again. So I wanted to avoid all of that. So what I did was I took a different route. Papa P, big shout out to you, Mr. Primo. I love you. I phoned a friend. I asked Mr. P, who has driven all over the country and, seasoned big rig driver. And I kind of phoned him and I was like, dude, I got to go to Idaho Falls. And he's like, Natalie. And I'm like, I know, I know, but I'm going. So help me out, So he kind of threw me a bone and gave me this route option, and I made the best judgment call. I've already taken the 25, I've already taken the 80, both in winter conditions, did not like it. So I decided to take this other route, which was the 550 through Farmington, and then it cuts you up to Cortez, Colorado, and then it bounces you over to Utah, Moab, and through Price, and then you finally get towards like Salt Lake City on the 15. So it cuts you kind of a different way, but there was only like one grade on that whole route, maybe 30, maybe 40 miles, I'm not sure. That it was not even super hairy, but I just took it really slow. I was really heavy and kind of tall. That truck, at the rear was really heavy and really tall. So you know, it was just one of those things. I took it really slow and it went really, really nicely. You guys just be safe out there, you know, be mindful. And if you are going into the snow and you're not used to it, hey, make sure you're getting enough money to where it makes sense. Even if the load takes you an extra day, right? You have to estimate, okay, how much gross revenue is this load going to pay me over how many miles? So it has to make sense in a rate per mile format, but you also have to account for a lot slower driving. We're not in the summertime. You're not going to be flying doing 80 miles an hour. You're going to be just creeping along in the snowy and frozen and icy conditions. So it's going to take you longer. So you have to look at a rate per mile, but you also have to look at how much time realistically is this load going to take me. So is it going to take me 3 days, 4 days, 5 days? And am I making enough revenue in order to account for the extra expenses that a longer trip is going to cost me? So more hotels, more food on the road, more coffee on the road, maybe more diesel, stuff like that. So it has to make sense all the way around, or else it just doesn't make sense. You have to be getting paid more for the additional stress involved with driving and going and risking going into those conditions. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that sheds a little bit of light for you guys. And let's check out this next clip. When trying to choose a route, right, Google Maps is always going to give us the quickest mileage, the shortest route, but this is not necessarily a trucker friendly route. Going up here. Okay, so basically I'm almost to Amarillo. You can see that I have to make a decision right now pretty quickly here whether I want to go up the 25, which is this route here, Santa Fe, Las Vegas, and up into Raton and Trinidad, Colorado, and take Colorado to continue on the 25 to the 80 through Wyoming, right? Once I hit Rock Springs, I would not go this route. I would continue to Ogden and then go north on the 15. I would not go this windy road, not right now anyways. As you can see, they opened up. I've been watching the 80 right here. This is always the part of the 80 that they're closing. I really don't know if I want to take that route either. I was thinking about adding a stop in Farmington and taking a more southern route, avoiding Colorado and avoiding the 80 altogether. This is potentially a road I could take. This is a road I can take. It's trucker friendly for sure, and it avoids all of Colorado and pretty much all of Wyoming, and it gets me up to Salt Lake City and then to Idaho Falls. That's probably the route I would want to take. Another thing that we want to do, you guys, is take a look at this. Let me back this up a little bit. Let's take a look at the satellite radar, what the radar is doing here. So Wednesday, it's 10:30 now. So there's 10:30. Here's Wednesday afternoon, Wednesday evening, Thursday morning, Thursday midday, Thursday afternoon. So as you can see, everywhere I'm going in Utah and in Idaho is going to get snowed on Thursday and Friday. So Thursday afternoon, the snow is going to start and it's going to continue until Friday afternoon. So I missed one storm, but I'm not going to miss the next one. There's no way around that. So checking the radar, checking the map, trying to judge, what's going to be the easiest route for me. I don't mind if I add on miles. That's fine. I don't want to kill myself, and I don't want to stress out the entire trip.